If you're looking to use Instagram to generate calls for your coaching, consulting, or agency business, then you need to make sure that your profile is optimized to convert. So in this video, I'll be sharing exactly how you can do that so that you're seen as an expert and you're consistently able to book more calls. By the way, this is part of a free mega course that goes extensively into everything that you'll need to know about growing your business and acquiring clients online and how to do so scalably and repeatably. So if you want to see the entire course, then just click on the link below and you'll be able to see it for yourself. Okay, so let's head into my screen share here where you can actually see my Instagram profile. As I had said before, there's really no point in even having social media if you're not actually leveraging it and the content inside it in order to schedule calls and to monetize for your business. We're not here to try to make content to become famous, right? So let's first go step by step. The first thing that you're gonna see on Instagram is obviously your top about section here. And you're only gonna be given a certain number of characters. So the best advice I have for you is to try to utilize it to the best of your ability. So talk about what it is that you actually help people achieve. Make sure that you discuss your method as well as your actual target market. Give a little bit of social proof, whether it be the amount of clients that you've worked with, how it is that you've been able to help them, and then give them an easy way to actually reach out to you. Invite them to actually even DM you in the first place and make it so that it's obvious that that's the intention and goal that you have for them in terms of how they might engage with you. And then of course, provide content. Now, in the past, we've spoken a lot about YouTube. I've talked about this extensively in my entire YouTube channel, as well as in the free courses that I've created. So a big part of why I think YouTube is amazing is because it's a much more long form version of building trust. Instagram and Twitter and all these other channels, you're probably not gonna have people watch 20, 30-minute long pieces of content. But that's really what you want to do if you wanna build true know, like, and trust factor. And that's why for me, I actually use Instagram more as a way to build a little bit of trust, but ultimately my goal here is to actually get them to go to my YouTube channel and actually consume my longer form content, because that's where I know people will start thinking that I'm a true expert in my field. So if you actually click here, you will actually go to my YouTube channel where you have access to all of my advanced scaling strategy videos, my entire playlist, which I've custom built just for my audience. So this is really where a lot of the indoctrination goes down, and people will be able to book a call right from this section. And then of course I provide a call booking link as well if they just want to go straight to that. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the highlight section. And highlights are essentially a collection of your stories that you've recorded in the past, which you're now able to essentially combine and aggregate together so that people have essentially a single highlight. And where I like to spend my time in regards to my highlights is a couple things. First off, I want to have a lot of customer testimonials. I want to just hit people over the head again and again with client wins, people generating results. And for you, that might be something relative to weight loss. It might be relative to getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend. In my case, obviously, it's more about revenue generation. So that's why I'm talking about my clients here, such as Brett getting 50K cash collected per month, Shamila here getting, well, it's moving so fast, but you get the idea. March 29K, 64,000 per month, 70,000. So you get the idea, and I'm just going to continue adding more and more. So this is actually a good way to even think about your own stories, right? On your Instagram stories, share these wins whenever they come in. If you have a program, seek out feedback from your customers so that you actually get from them in real time whenever they've had a success, whenever they've had a win, so that you could screenshot it and share it with your audience as well, because this provides a bit of a positive feedback loop in order to continuously generate more content that will ultimately get your next people to actually buy from you. Now, the next section that I like to have in my highlights are all my free trainings, because not everyone's going to necessarily go to my YouTube channel and go through and find all the content that makes the most sense for them. And that's why for me, I've kind of taken the best videos that I like and I've put them directly into my story sections here and my highlights, and they can just access the YouTube links live from Instagram. So once again, on the logic that I said before of using Instagram in order to just drive qualified traffic to YouTube, which is the more impactful place that I'm gonna be actually leveraging in order to get people to know, like, and trust me and wanna book a call with me. Now, I think for me, lifestyle is a really big part of why people end up wanting to work with me, because they wanna be able to generate more money, work online, live anywhere in the world, essentially have a remote team that allows them to have a freedom lifestyle. So whatever it is, the lifestyle that you're also selling your particular clients, share it, right? When you look at my stories, I'm talking about traveling, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about all the adventures and experiences that my job and my business lets me essentially have access to. So I'm consistently sharing this, and it's important that you don't just talk about work, right? Because if you are just the guy that 100% of the time just talks about work, you're essentially a work robot, people have a harder time relating with you. So share funny stories, be vulnerable. Sometimes I'll even have something on my Instagram which isn't necessarily happy. I'm just talking about how difficult my week is, whatever it may be. I think people, when they see that you're a human being, it's much easier for them to actually relate with you. Other things that you might want to do in regards to the actual stories is just calls to actions, right? Hey, DM me if you're looking to grow. DM me if you're looking to lose weight. I'm looking for 5 people this month that are trying to achieve this specific goal. If that's something that you're interested in, send me a DM. You can have polls, you can have little questions, and those are all things that you can also deploy in your stories that will ultimately get people to actually engage. If you were to compare your Instagram to, say, like a brick and mortar store, I would almost say that all of your posts here in your wall and in your grid section, it's almost like the clothes that are being put on the windowsill on display. You're not necessarily going to buy because of that, but it might actually get you in the store. So that's really what this content is. You want to have enough of it and that it's high quality and that people follow you and subscribe to you and start paying attention. But as far as how you actually get people to convert, it's going to be your stories, it's going to be your highlights, it's going to be the links that you're sending people into your YouTube channel. That's going to be where people actually end up converting and having deeper conversations with you. So you definitely want to be focusing a lot of your energy in your highlight section, in your stories. And then you can allow the reels to be more the credibility builder to get someone to even follow you in the first place. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about your wall. What does that look like? For me, most of this content are just minute-long reels, and I actually have made this to be mostly just 1 minute, essentially teaser or trailer versions of my YouTube videos. Because if you were to go into any of this content and you looked in the caption, a lot of it actually says, hey, go to my YouTube channel for this video, but with more depth. And I'm pretty much using this content as a way to, once again, get people to go to my YouTube channel. Now, not to say that if people just see this video on its own, they wouldn't learn, but there's only so much content that you can really deliver in a single minute, right? So I'm probably gonna avoid talking about anything extremely tactical, and I'm gonna defer to YouTube for that. Sometimes I'll be more likely to just talk about higher level tactics or mindset things. And something that actually I've found to be pretty effective is thinking about what are all the objections that people tend to come to me on a call with, such as, oh, I don't need content, or I could do this myself by just watching your videos. Why would I need to pay you if you're already giving all this free content away? So a lot of those objections that I'm oftentimes getting, those are actually really quick ideas that I could put into a minute-long reel. Hopefully, if they watch it, they can enter my sales calls having already overcome some of those objections. So that's actually a high-level overview of what I like to do in regards to my reels. Now, other things that you might do outside of just reels are these like little carousels where you're trying to just give as much value as you can, but in written form. So I actually just cheat. I use Twitter, and sometimes I'll just screenshot some of my better performing posts on Twitter. But even when I think about how to create these from a Twitter perspective, I'm really just trying to essentially come up with what is a very quick and snappy, maybe list form piece of content that I can provide, which will immediately help someone overcome a certain problem or achieve a specific objective, right? So for me, something that I made recently is, hey, if you want to scale to 100K per month, you might need to hire an appointment setting team. Here's exactly how to do that step by step. And I more or less just go through a pretty in-depth instruction manual of how they can do that. So there's a little bit more variety in my feed than just having videos. That being said, the key with Instagram, beyond just the content alone, is that whenever someone follows you or whenever someone actually engages in your content, don't be passive. Don't wait for them to actually DM you or book a call with you. Actually reach out to them, right? Send them a message and say, hey, thank you for following me. Thank you for actually engaging in my content. What is it that you're actually struggling with? Take the initiative. try to book them into a call, or in the DMs, send them to your YouTube channel or send them to the best content that you have, and that way they can continuously nurture. Don't just wait for them to ultimately take the next step on their own, because they oftentimes won't. And if you do all of these things that I've just mentioned, I guarantee you'll be able to continue scaling and generating more calls with your coaching, consulting, or agency business using Instagram.